Pentecostal Hong Kong Secondary School. The motion for today is that larger mainland visitor numbers have an overall beneficial effect on Hong Kong. I'm Catherine, your chairperson, and our timekeeper is Florence. The adjudicator is Miss Drew. For the affirmative team, the first speaker is Valerie. The second speaker is Hermes. And the third speaker is Alice. For the negative team, the first speaker is Alex. The second speaker is Toby. And the summary speaker is Gordon. The rules of the debate are as follows. Each speaker will have a total of 3 minutes and 15 seconds to speak. There will be one bow at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, 2 bows at 3 minutes, and continuous remain at 3 minutes and 15 seconds when speakers must finish. So let's start the debate. I now call on the first speaker of the affirmative.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We, as the affirmative side, support the motion that larger mainland visitor numbers have an overall beneficial effect on Hong Kong. We believe that the increase of mainland visitor numbers can help to benefit in Hong Kong economically and socially. I asked the first speaker to talk about how the mainland visitors help benefit Hong Kong economically. And our second speaker will show you the social benefits. By overall, we mean more benefits than disadvantages. First and foremost, the increased rate of mainland visitors can accelerate the development in retail, tourism, and catering in short term. According to the Hong Kong Tourism Board, since 2003, when the individual visit scheme was launched, the arrivals from mainland China increased 34.3 million from 2002 to 2013. In these 10 years, the immediate surge in the number of mainland visitors has brought at least $100 billion to our economy. For example, in tourism, jobs increased by 10.9 million, and the revenue increased by 590 million during the scheme. From this, we can see that the enormous number of mainlander arrivals boosted our economy, which helped us recover from the serious economic damage caused by the financial turmoil in 1997 and SARS in 2003. Secondly, the larger mainland visitors number helped the development of Hong Kong tourism in long term, hence promoting our Hong Kong economy to a greater success. Our economy has been boosted rapidly. Hong Kong has gained reputation and fame around the world as a shopping paradise, food paradise, Pearl of the Orient. According to the international travel website TripAdvisor, Hong Kong was selected as the first in Asia and the 10th in the world as the best city to visit in 2012. In the same year, MasterCard established that Hong Kong was ranked 6th among the 132 cities in the whole world. Thirdly, reducing the number of visitors from mainland will cause a great downfall on the economy of Hong Kong. Endorsements for Shenzhen residents will be limited to 1 visit per week, and Hong Kong researchers predict that this will reduce mainland visitors to around 4.6 million people, 1/10 of the last year's mainland arrivals. Having fewer visitors, our Hong Kong tourism, retail, and catering will be affected seriously. Side effects, like the increase in employment rates, will appear. Suffering economic depression in long term will drag down development in Hong Kong in political, social, and environmental aspects. This boosting economy and tourism is good for all Hong Kong people as it creates jobs and raises the living standard of those in Hong Kong. Allowing more mainland visitors to come is good for us all. So ladies and gentlemen, today's motion must stand. Thank you.
The first speaker of the affirmative used 3 minutes and 1 second. on the first speaker of the negative.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Our team opposed today's motion, and our team name is Optimal Market versus Hong Kong. First, I'd like to make some rebuttals. The affirmative team stated that the large number of mainland visitors do bring a lot of job opportunities. But I'd like to ask a question. Does it mean that the living standard of the local will be raised as also? Take a look at the society now. High rent and also high price level. This will just lower the living standard of Hong Kong people. Also, they said that the economic benefits is increasing. However, this is just a nominal value. They push up the mainland visitor, they just push up the price level with high rent and competition for resource. This just lead to the higher cost of living, but lower living standard. Disturbance caused by this problem is far outweighed than the so-called advantage. Here, I'm going to tell you, Hong Kong can no longer accommodate larger visitor numbers. Our second speaker, Toby, will explain to you not every Hong Konger can benefit from mainland visitors. And our first speaker, Gordon, will sum up our case. Let me start with clarifying some key terms. In today's motion, larger means there's still room for more mainland visitors to give even greater interest to Hong Kong. And having an overall benefit means the benefit should be enjoyed by every Hong Kongers. What's the situation of Hong Kong? According to Hong Kong Tourism Board, the mainland visitors numbers have sharply increased from 80 million in 2009 to 47 million in 2014. We don't deny that mainland visitors do bring a lot of benefits to Hong Kong, but do larger numbers bring the same? Obviously not, because Hong Kong capacity has already reached the optimal point. Our Chief Executive, C.Y. Leung, said on 24 February 2015 that he had been advising the central government not to expand the individual visa scheme as Hong Kong's capacity has reached the optimal point. What's the consequence of having larger visitor numbers when the capacity is full? It's the basic economic concept, diminishing marginal return. What Hong Kong people are facing is the competition for resource. We have to compete for land, transportation, and even groceries, which are the favorite products of mainland visitors. And also, allowing more mainlanders to come to Hong Kong will just intensify the problem. From Shenzhen's recent change of the individual visa scheme from weekly visit from unlimited visit to weekly visit with effect from 13 April 2015, we can see both. I don't know why the opponents still think that there's a overall beneficial effect on Hong Kong. Therefore, today's motion must fall. Thank you.
The first speaker of the negative is 3 minutes and 12 seconds. now call on the second speaker of the affirmative.
Imagine Hong Kong without all the mainland visitors. Sha Tin, Mong Kok, Tsim Sha Tsui, all empty. The small shops on the side of the road have all shut down, and people without jobs. Our dear opponents, is this the Hong Kong you want to see? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, as the second speaker, will continue our case. We support the motion because we believe that the increase of mainland visitor numbers can help to benefit in Hong Kong economically and socially. My first speaker has already shown you how larger mainland visitor numbers bring beneficial effects to Hong Kong in the economy. Now, I'll show you how it brings benefits to the culture of mainland China and Hong Kong. Before I begin my speech, I would like to show some mistakes made by our opponents. They said that the larger mainland visitor numbers only lower the living standard of Hong Kong and pushing up the price level. Is it only pushing up the price level? Pushing up the price level is actually meaning that the economy of Hong Kong is getting better and better. In long term, the economic benefits can help us to increase the quality of our lives. There will be visitors coming, and there will always be challenges. What we have to do now is to sustain our economy, and meanwhile, refine our system, which I'm going to mention. Now, back to my speech. Nowadays, conflicts between mainland and Hong Kong are getting more and more serious. Mainlanders behaving badly on the street in Hong Kong. Hong Kongers kicking the mainlanders' luggage. Hong Kong wants a better quality of visitors. Mainland wants a better quality of hosts. We're like a family with a dispute. It's a must for us to stay close with each other. And you can't solve the problem if you don't talk anymore. The only way to solve the problem is more communication. Understand one another, educate one another, and have a closer relationship. This is exactly what Hong Kong and mainland should do. Don't forget, we're one country. Sure, there are problems as I just said. There are always problems among people. And these problems are ones that can be solved with a better government policies. What if the government set up a special shopping region in some border area, like Lo Wu, to allow the mainlanders to shop there and not affect the life of Hong Kongers? They can shop what they want, and we can get the benefits in the economy in it. Isn't that a win-win idea? If the mainlanders need more facilities like restaurants, parks, hotels, and other entertainment, then just build for them. We will have more facilities to use also, increasing our capacity for absorbing more tourists, not only the ones from mainland. Isn't that also a win-win situation? Ladies and gentlemen, larger mainland visitor numbers will surely bring beneficial effects to Hong Kong in culture and economy. Nowadays, so we're proud to propose today's motion. Thank you.
The second speaker of the affirmative is 3 minutes and 4 seconds. I now call on the second speaker of the negative.
Good afternoon, everyone. Our team opposed today's motion, and our team line today is optimal market versus Hong Kong. First, let me clarify some misconceptions made by the opponent team. The opponent team stated that facilities are built to meet the increasing need of the mainland visitors. But they missed the point. They didn't read the full image that these facilities are built to meet the urgent need of the present problem, as the capacity of Hong Kong market had already been reached. Building more facilities can only solve the present problem, and it is only a prediction that we don't know if more facilities, more shopping centers could work or not. So it doesn't mean that the market can afford more mainland visitors. They also state that sustainable economic growth is the thing which is striking. But disadvantage brought by mainland visitors already outweigh the benefits of them. So we should first deal with the problems that generate by mainland visitors, but not to worsen our social problem by ourselves, because us mainland visitors cause so huge problems. Back to our substantive. Larger mainland visitor number only benefits certain groups in Hong Kong. According to research funded by the Hong Kong Tourism Board in 2014, 5,638 is the per capita spending of mainland visitors, and 60% of the expenditure are for shopping. Superficially, it's benefit tourism, retail, catering, and hotel industries. Yet, is that true? The shopkeepers have to pay the skyrocketing rent, which is contributing to the enormous profit of developers and landlords. Even worse, the profit gained by the developers are actually widening the wealth gap among citizens versus in Hong Kong society. Unmistakably, the existing mainland visitor number already causes a heavy burden to our society. First, local transportation system is often filled with mainland visitors, which makes the crowded situation even more congested. Secondly, the mainland visitors include mainland children studying in Hong Kong. They overload the present education system by driving local pupils to study in other districts when 16,000 mainland kids applied for primary school in the Northern District in 2012, according to the Education Bureau. Third, parallel traders are disturbing our daily life, especially locals in Northern District. They block the roads and compete with our daily necessities. According to the Singtao Daily on the 12th of November 2014, the price of milk formula has increased by 21%. It also costs high commodity price. So our dear opponent, if you are resident in the Northern District, we will say you will benefit from larger mainland visitor numbers. Therefore, today's motion must fall. Thank you.
The second speaker of the negative is 3 minutes and 18 seconds. speaker offers the affirmative.
I'm sure you've all heard of the saying, the more we have, the better it is. In this case of mainland visitors, it's absolutely true. More mainland visitors can boost Hong Kong's economy and solve the conflict between Hong Kong and mainland visitors. Ladies and gentlemen, we as a affirmative team strongly support the motion because we believe that increase of mainland visitors will help to benefit Hong Kong economically and socially. I, as a third speaker, will summarize the case. Before I begin my case, I want to show some mistakes made by our opponents. The first speaker raised a question that when more mainland visitors come to Hong Kong, does it mean that our quality of life also increases? Yes, of course. They bring us economic benefit, which can help us increase the quality of life. The second speaker said that they are not sure that the shops will work or not. It will work. More mainland visitors are coming. They will come and buy products from those shops. We need facilities for them. Next, they said that the conflicts outweighs the benefit. No, ladies and gentlemen, the problem can be solved. We are talking about overall. As we mentioned that larger mainlander visitor help benefit Hong Kong economically and socially. So the benefits outweigh the conflicts and problems in long term. They also said that the mainland visitors bring us problems such as Hong Kong are more crowded, they are blocking our ways. However, these problems have our dear opponents mentioned that are so narrow. These problems can be solved by better government policies, maybe make more transportation. Look at the big picture. We are talking about overall. As our first and second speaker mentioned that larger mainland visitors help benefit Hong Kong economically and socially, and our team mentioned it. And the benefits outweigh the conflicts of problems. Back to our contention. Hong Kong is a financial city with a focus on the economy. This is how our wonderful city was designed and built. Having more mainland visitors is vital to keeping our economic health. As our first speaker has shown you that when the individual visit scheme was launched, the mainland visitors has increased 34.3 million from 2002 to 2013. And this has brought at least $100 billion to our economy in different fields, like tourism and revenue. This can also help us to recover the economic damage by the financial turmoil. Moreover, larger mainland visitors help the development of Hong Kong in long term, hence promoting our Hong Kong economy to a greater success. Hong Kong has gained reputation and fame all around the world. Our second speaker has shown you that we need to solve the conflicts by more communication, more understanding to each other, educate one another, and have a closer relationship. The conflicts can also be solved by better government policies, like set up a special shopping region in some border area. We should also attract more quality visitors from different parts of China. Ladies and gentlemen, we are one country. What is good for one is good for all. More mainland visitors can boost Hong Kong economy and solve the conflicts between Hong Kong and mainland visitors. So, today's motion must stand. Thank you.
The third speaker of the affirmative used 3 minutes and 9 seconds. call on the first speaker of the negative.
Our opponent today seems to be too shallow. They just pay attention to the economic benefits gained by the developers, retailing business, and some service industries only, but forget the whole picture for our society. Let's break the green scenario depicted by our side proposition. First, I need to clarify that our team is not to challenge the importance of tourism and the mainland visitors to Hong Kong. We didn't mention we need more or fewer number of mainland visitors. They told us, and we just want to show you that there are many protests and the change of individual visa scheme from unlimited visas to weekly visas has already shown that the Hong Kong citizens can endure no more to larger number of mainland visitors. If it is only as simple as the affirmative said, how can you explain this phenomenon? Yes, the mainland visitors numbers is really contribute to our Hong Kong's economy, but the most important concept in this is the disturbance is far outweighs than the advantages. They also mentioned that the mainland visitors visit Hong Kong can have more communication and the conflicts can be solved. How ridiculous it is. Can you see there's any change with the relationship between Hong Kong and mainland visitors? No. They also mentioned that the quality of life would increase if the greater mainland visitors number came to Hong Kong. As what I have said before, the disturbance is far overweight to the so-called advantages. As they have brought us many social issues like overcrowded environment, pollution, wealth gap, or even more. And they can also simply say the facilities are built to increase, can be built to increase the facility. But they are used to meet the need of the large number of mainland visitors numbers. Nowadays, as the number has already exceeded the capacity of the market, but it can only solve the present problem, but it doesn't mean the market can afford a larger number of visitors. Before summarizing, let me repeat our team line again. Optimal market versus Hong Kong. Our first speaker, Alex, has pointed out the larger number of mainland visitors nowadays has exceeded the capacity of Hong Kong. The larger number of them will just sharpen the conflicts between the mainland and Hong Kong. And our second speaker, Toby, has told you there are no overall benefits which can be shared by all Hong Kongers. Developers are biggest winners. In addition, the larger mainland visitors numbers will just bring us resources competition and affect the living standard of Hong Kong citizens. Therefore, today's motion must fall. Thank you.
The first speaker of the negative used 3 minutes and 7 seconds. That concludes today's debate. Please show your appreciation for both teams. There will now be a short break while the adjudicator comes to her judgment. Adjudicators to deliver performance and decision.
Sorry, because there's a lot of writings, there's a lot of notes. That's why I want to do my comments on the desk, like at my desk, so that I will not be looking and flipping on my papers. And like you, most of you, like the speakers, you really need, like, you've got your cards. I don't have. I got lots of scrap papers around. Right. Okay. I really enjoyed today's debate. There was a lot of facts and a lot of arguments about both sides of the picture of the situation, because of both sides did a lot of research. There was a lot of numbers, and there was a lot of reasoning as well. This side pointed out that this side were able to point out that these are the advantages that the mainland visitors have brought to us, and this side have keep telling us, but you have the problems as well, all right? And it's like the good things and the bad things. It was so clearly brought out, like because of your facts, because of your reasoning, and then you stuck to your case. It's very important that you stick to your case. I'm now going to give comments to individual speakers, and afterwards I'll deliver the results. For the first speaker, Valerie. Valerie, I thought you were a really confident speaker. You had lots of statistics about how Hong Kong, sorry, Valerie, looking at the wrong person. Valerie, you had lots of statistics. You came up with a very strong and clear structure. We believe that mainland visitors, more mainland visitors would benefit us economically and socially, and you have stuck to it throughout the whole debate. It's really clear, simple to understand, and at first I thought, is that the 2 points or is that the team line? And I thought that was a team line eventually. But it was, I liked the team line, it was short and easy to understand. And then you went on and gave me a lot of facts about how Hong Kong had recovered from the SARS, from its economy since 1907, and so on, how the increase of numbers had benefited Hong Kong. You also went on to say that Hong Kong is one of the best cities around the world, and then with all the rankings. And then lastly and finally, you talked about how the limitation of number of centered visitors coming to Hong Kong recently has affected employment and the retail industry, and then how it will probably lead to more social, political, and economic problems, right? If I go back, you were supposed to talk about the economic benefits, yeah? How do I actually see the economic benefits? Yes, you didn't, you told me how many more people were going to employ. Yeah, that was one of the things that helps the economy. But if you look at, if Hong Kong is a really nice city, with that fact, how does it make Hong Kong, how does it benefit Hong Kong economically? How does it link it back to your point with economic benefits? And I thought you could strengthen a bit about how you could strengthen the last point a bit, how the limitation, how the recent limitation has brought effects on employment in the retail industry as well. I need the numbers, I need facts, and how how you think that it will lead on to further problems. On what basis do you think that further problems will occur? So I want that stronger linkage, stronger evidence, or I would say stronger reasoning to make me believe that yes, the problem will get more serious. And I thought that was a point that you could have given to your second and third speakers, because that side keep on raising the problem. That side had mentioned that the government has limited the number of tourists because it has brought too many problems, right? But you had your own argument as well, but you never put it through. This was one of the things that the third speaker third speaker of the NAC team had mentioned. Like, see, like we are like they have been saying that since the first speaker. The government has proposed this because the Hong Kong government and CY Leung has stated that there are too many mainland visitors to Hong Kong. We have to cut down the number. But you never actually responded to that point directly. All right, which was something that you could have touched on. All right, on the team. And over to the negative side. Right. I thought that you were really confident little speaker. You were kind of little, cute, and probably, is it your first time?
Second.
Second, yeah. Well, I thought like it would be one of your first few debates, like it would be better that you stand in the middle. It's something that I thought it would be better than to like stand towards your team, all right? Something that you start learning from, like manners, etc. I'm not saying you're impolite or what. Like you could have stood in the center. But anyway, you are a very, very confident speaker. You had a lot of vocabulary, you have a range of vocabulary, good language to explain your ideas. You've got good reasoning skills. You are able to explain complex ideas, which is actually your advantage, and you need to make good use of that. I liked how the negative side came up and point out that the affirmative haven't really defined the motion, and you start off with defining what larger means, and the overall benefits. What does it mean by overall benefits? And it says, yeah, it means as long as you benefit, as long as it is enjoyed by most Hong Kongers. So I would, and then and I had this in mind throughout the debate. So as long as as that thing will benefit Hong Kongers, that will be a benefit on Hong Kong. That will be a benefit according to this motion. So you help me define the motion, which was not really done from the negative side, from the affirmative side. Right. You told me that Hong Kong has reached its optimal situation, like optimal number, or I don't know what to say, but that's the word, optimal. And then I thought you could have improved on that, like giving me a picture, like explaining a bit further why you think it has reached its max. All right. For example, I don't like. For example, transport. Probably, we have like it's always filled with people, no matter it's rush hours or not. Right. You could have given me a better picture of why you think Hong Kong has reached its max. Right? Again, yeah, that was a nice point that you touched on, like how Hong Kong and CY Leung has stated that and told the Chinese government that Hong Kong has too much Chinese visitors and you should really limit them. Right? I will remind me to touch on that point towards the end of the debate of my comments. Right, but yes, that was actually good. Keep improving. You're going to be a good student. And second negative, Hermes. Is it Hermes? Hermes. Affirmative. Hermes. I thought Hermes. I thought have not very good eyesight. Sorry. Hermes, you're a very, very strong speaker. I thought it would be better if you kind of slow down, and so that slow down so as you are not to rush, and then you're not that pushy. I felt a bit pushed. I thought you were pushing a lot of arguments to me. I thought you were kind of pushy in the way that you have to accept what I'm saying. If not, you will be punished. Tone it down a bit. Okay? If you want to persuade others, I think you could have gone slower and lure people into believing you. I think that makes it a better speaker. I'm not saying that you have to be strong. Some of the speakers are very strong, but I think you can tone it down a bit. All right? Especially you're a lady. Yes, good pace. It was a very nice pace. You've got this very nice pace. You started off with this thing. What happens if there is no mainland visitors? There won't be any shops, there won't be any jobs. I thought you could have, I was thinking it could have been a bit better picture, because I thought it was a bit too extreme. I thought we are just lowering the number of visitors. We are not stopping or barring the number of visitors coming to Hong Kong. I thought you could have, if you want to have, I know some people want to have story, a nice start to that speech. I think you can put slightly more effort into creating that little story or picture for me, because I thought it was a bit too extreme in that case. Again, nice you went on to reaffirm the team's case about economic and social benefits. The rebuttal was valid. Living standards will not drop because there will be more facilities, like there will be more expenditures and facilities, and therefore it will drive the economy. We just need to refine the policy, right? That's what you said. That's what I thought it could. This side could have explained a bit more, was the details of the case. You had a case, you wanted, how you actually want the government of Hong Kong to improve or change in order to cater for the mainland visitors, and at the same time, it will benefit Hong Kong and its people. I thought you could have put more effort into describing to me what the government will do. It's how the government will refine its policy to benefit Hong Kongers. And that was also, and just moving on to the third speaker, that's what you also thought in your rebuttals. You thought, the Chinese mainlanders are blocking our way, but then we can improve our transportation system, right? The government can improve. Well, it could be part of your case, the details. How do you actually want the government to improve transportation so that it will not be a problem to the mainlanders, and also it will benefit us as Hong Kongers? So I was looking about the details, because you need to convince me that your case will stand. Yeah? So how actually will the government do? You don't say, oh, we will work on it. How will you work on it? Okay? Because if you say you're going to work on it, you might not work on it well, and then it will lead to further problems. But if you're going to convince me, you will tell me, this is how we will work on it, and therefore the problem will never be a problem anymore. All right? So far, I don't have any ideas how to actually solve the transportation problem here. If not, I will not be sitting here. I'll probably be working in the government. All right, you guys are the brainers. Yeah, you're really brainy. You will probably think of a way to solve Hong Kong's transportation system, and also how to refine the policy so that it will actually benefit Hong Kong, and will actually benefit Hong Kongers, and will also solve problems when there are more mainland people. Right. Yes. And then you move on to your cultural thing. I really like how you explain it, we are a family. Yeah, we should actually improve our communication so that it, yeah, we should communicate more so that it creates a win-win situation. Yeah, I think this is what we want. I think this is what we want. Again, yeah, I don't think we would be able to give you the details, but I thought I really like that idea about, I think this is the way forward, like to really build out or improve the communication between Hong Kongers and mainlanders so as to improve the situation. It's only through more interaction and understanding. And I thought you could put one example, just one example, that how Hong Kongers can actually benefit from mainlanders, or from how mainlanders can actually benefit from Hong Kong. So I don't like, for example, we are more aware of our behavior, something like that, something like a little thing to support, like an example to support that. You know, if there are more people coming in, we will be more aware, and then that increases our quality, you know, of Hong Kongers, yeah, the quality of Hong Kongers. Right, yeah, more facilities. Yes, more facilities for them, more facilities for us. Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, finally, yeah, you kind of panic when you heard the first, like when you heard the ding ding. It's like, oh, we are proud to propose, and you read. Okay, it's again, I don't know how experienced you are, but you should know that when you, or how experienced you are, and of course, like through many practices before this debate, you should know that 2 dings. What else can I say? You know, probably you don't need to run off. You don't need to simply say, I'm proud to propose, and you run off. You could have, I think, 15 seconds. In 15 seconds, you could have strengthened your team line. You could have put up a message. You could have asked a question, or do something else rather than be proud to propose. All right, something that you have to work on. All right, nice. And then moving on to the second speaker of the negative team. Right, Toby. Toby, you have good ideas, you have good arguments, you know how to rebut. You need to polish up your explanation skills, your reasoning. You tend to panic a bit when you're doing your rebuttals, right? Perhaps one little tip is that, firstly, you might spend a bit more time with, like, when the second speaker, when you know that the second speaker is almost finished her speech, stop writing, start thinking about how you would start, how you would do the rebuttals, because that's the first thing you will work on. All right. So when you are on stage, it will be spot on. You know, just simply said your rebuttal. Another thing, and the tip will be shorten your rebuttal a bit, so that it doesn't drag on too long, and you forget how to explain. All right, but I could still get it. You know how you were saying that they said there will be more in facilities. Does it really benefit us Hong Kongers? Just benefit probably the mainlanders. Yeah, and then probably something like this, and then stop and move on to your speech. You don't have to go on and on and on. All right. Yeah, but then you turn and then you move on to not worsen but the point, I really like your speech because it's full of points, strong points, arguments, examples. You know how you said that doesn't really benefit Hong Kong economically or socially or whatever because of the rent, wealth gap. And it's causing a burden to Hong Kong in terms of transportation, in terms of education, and the problems of parallel traders, right? I really like how you have packed so many things into your speech. It's like everything is easy to understand, and I was able to understand it. But one question was that, how, we're talking about visitors here, right? They come in and go very, very quickly. How does it actually affect our education system? Will they actually stay? okay, you don't have to answer. I don't know, are you shocked or what?
We think that the visitors are not limited to a short stay people, but only that is about the people that in and out Hong Kong every day or something like that.
Right. So you're talking about the kids who are living in Shenzhen, but they come to Hong Kong to study. Right. Alright, so you could have explained that a bit, because I was like thinking, they come here, like, you know, I thought like they were just coming here to, you know, how they just come here to stay for a long period of time. I thought about that education thing, you know, instead of those education problems that was affecting the Northern Territories. I don't really live on the northern side. Alright, yeah, alright, you could have pointed that out. Sorry, or perhaps I missed that. Right. Yeah. Right, yeah, that could be problems. But are they visitors? Again, visitors, definition of visitors. They come in and out very often. Again, it's back to the definition of what visitors are. No one really explained what visitors are. How long are they expected to stay? Like 3 days, 4 days, 1 day? Like, yeah. Kind of. I don't really. Would I consider those as visitors? I don't really understand. I don't really know. I don't really would consider that because they come here on a regular basis. Right? So, yeah, that was a question. Yeah, and then you find and then you finally thought, and you finally ended the speech saying that all these problems is affecting the residents, you know, with the parallel traders and everything, is affecting the residents living in the Northern Territories, right? In the Northern New Territories. But I thought you could have improved your speech by saying that it's a local issue, not a regional issue. Like local means how does it affect Hong Kong as a whole, and not simply people in the north. Alright? So it makes it more holistic rather than too focused on one area. Alright? Right, that will be it. Yeah, nice. And then finally the last two speakers. Sorry. Let's see, affirmative, yeah. Alice, I really like your speech. I really liked it. I really liked it because you came out and you had those four rebuttals, and that it was short and sharp. You didn't went on and on and on explaining those. I thought some of them I thought it was valid. Some of them I probably doubt them. But still, I thought you were making a very good attempt at rebutting 4 points at a time, and it was actually well presented, you know, at a short period of as you have to prep for it in a short period of time. And yes, one of the things I thought everyone could learn from her was that when she did her rebuttals, she was actually reinforcing her team line. She said that this is like, for example, she pointed out that the problem, like the affirmative said, there are more problems than benefits. But she reinforced it by saying that look at the benefits, look at the economic benefits and the cultural benefits that we have told you. These shows that the benefits are greater than the problems that you have just said. For all the rebuttals she made, she was actually going back to the team line, which is actually a very good strategy. Not only trying to attack you, but at the same time strengthening her case. All right, that's something that you need to work on. You need to consider is when you attack, you have to defend as well. So you attack other people, you defend yourself. This is what I learned from my Taekwondo lessons as well. This is what you need to do for debating as well. You defend and attack. All right, this is the only way to win a match. That, for example, in terms of like verbally and physically. Right, and then nice summary. blank summary of it of your case. Yeah, I thought like towards the end, like you said, good for one, good for all. Yeah. Good for one. How does it good for one, good for all? How does it really? Alright, yeah, and then it will be good for it, beneficial. Sorry, yeah, that was it. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, no, that was not the problem. The problem was at the beginning. It's again the nice little stylish start. But there's more. It's better when we have more. So, like, I thought you could have explained more about why do you think more means better. Especially, what quickly comes to me was that slogan from a beauty campaign, you know, like no, it's a slogan from cosmetic advertisement. Was that less is more? That was came that came to me. Sorry. Yeah. So I was like, you could have explained, and you could have convinced me more why more is more means more would lead to better things. Right? Right? Yeah. That was very. It's just again the nice little start they were trying to have to polish up a bit. And finally, Gordon, the last speaker of the NAC team. I thought you've got really good language. I really like you've got a wide variety of vocabulary. It's just good. Not very common nowadays. People use very simple language. So it's good for you. I like it again. I really like how you reinforce a point that they did not rebut you on, which is about the weekly visits. And then nice, you talk about how visitors are not actually contributing to Hong Kong's economy, problem of communication, overcrowding, etc. They were all vetted rebuttals. Now back to this team. If I were your team, I was like thinking about that thing. You know how like when a government had that policy of, you know, I still don't know that name. You know how like you can only come like for Shenzhen visitors they can come for 1 week. Pardon? Yeah, 1 week, 1 go. Thank you. Yeah, this policy. Were they actually targeting? If I were you, I would say that are they actually targeting citizens of China? But if you look at the effect, if you look at the effects, it is affecting what is going. You know this. What's going on? Like what is going on in Shanghai? What is affected? Yeah, they were actually. You can. If I were your team, I could point out that it's actually targeting parallel traders instead of mainland visitors. I guess China still wants mainland visitors to come to Hong Kong. But this 1 week, 1 go, is it? 1 week, 1 go is actually very effective in stopping mainland parallel traders. Well, that might almost, yes?
Actually, I prepared, but I've read not enough time.
Right, that was actually, no, you could have pass it on to other speakers. The other team might not agree, but it could. Again, you could have brought it up. You know, yeah. it will be interesting to see how would they explain on this area, especially when you claim that it's all about parallel traders and not about visitors. It'll be interesting to see how they explain this case. Oh yes, good vocabulary, but you need to work on your pronunciation. In addition, not in addiction. Sorry, that just came to my mind. Yes. Right, sorry, I have given like a really long speech. Hopefully. Right, and then he's getting tired. He's fidgeting. Right, I have to deliver the results. Right. The best speaker of this debate would go to the third speaker of the affirmative team, which is Alice. I she has, like just now I said, I thought she had really done well on her rebuttals as well as a summary. She had attacked the other team and defended her team's case very, very well. So I really liked that tactic, and she has actually did it or performed it well. So that was the reason. That's the reason why I think she is, and she deserved the award or the praise as the best speaker. And then the TOEFL, and then yes, and then I thought the winning team would be the negative team, because they have captured the case. They had They had strong arguments. And then I thought that like your team did not, like, one of the penalties was that I thought you didn't really define the motion. They helped you to define the motion. You stuck to that one strong point. They stuck to it, but you did not try to attack it. So therefore, I thought the winning team goes to the NAC team. Thank you.
Once again, thank you to our teams. Please stay for some refreshments.
Oh, shut up.
Stay hopeful.
Let's take a photo.